Hi everyone, you're tuned into Sacred Erotic Poetry, Sacred Sexuality and Ascension podcast with Gila and Nehemia. Thank you so much for being here. Today is the 20th of August, so we are going to tap into the full blue moon in Aquarius energies. I have so much to tell you today. So before we begin, I would love for you to close your eyes if you're in a sacred quiet space where you're not driving. I invite you to close your eyes with me and let's breathe 3 times together from deep in your diaphragm up to your highest chakras above your head. So let's do that 3 times right now. And as you feel the stresses of the day leave you, just connecting to our light teams, our ancestors, our angels, God, Source, Universe, our guides, our power animals to assist us in this session as we connect to each other and we connect into the infinite intelligence of the universe to bring any messages that need to be brought, to bring any questions up that need to be questioned, to assist us in really stepping into this beautiful, beautiful energy of the full blue moon. Thank you. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom. Thank you. So thank you for being here. Thanks for those of you who've been listening to my podcast. I truly appreciate it. If you don't know me, I am Gila Nehemia. I'm a spiritual heart guide and a writing empowerment coach and divine feminine healer. I assist people who have experienced chronic trauma or sexual domination, such as domestic violence, sexual trauma, child abuse, bullying, PSD as it relates to grief. I help people in those areas to really connect back into their heart wisdom, to let go of patterns that have been replaying in their mind or their emotions that are blocking them from truly stepping into their full luminous light, really connecting the dark and the light together. I help people to go into those shadows, to light it up and to accept and truly revel in your own wholeness and sovereignty. So today I wanted to talk about the full blue moon in Aquarius, which is going to be on the 22nd. Really powerful energies. It is the new moon, the previous new moon in Leo, and this full moon in Aquarius is starting a new lunar cycle, which is much more regular than before. Before the cycle was a little bit erratic, it was just like usually with a new moon, you're setting an intention, and the full moon, there's a release. And the past year was kind of reverse. So I'm really excited to be starting this regular lunar cycle. I'm feeling it. I'm wondering if you are. If you are, definitely send me a message. You can always send me a message at gilanehemia.com. And I'd love to know how you're feeling and if these podcasts really resonate with you. So what I'm actually doing, just to let you know here, and I'll tell you at the end as well, I am teaming up with 2 friends of mine. I mentioned this a few podcasts ago. We are doing a full blue moon meditation, a free live stream in YouTube. And I'll put the link to register in Eventbrite in the details. So everyone's invited. It's various time zones. So I'm not going to go through them. You can just register and you're going to get your time zone. It's actually going to be the 21st for some people, like in the U.S. and in the U.S. and I guess South America, that part of the world. And it'll be the 22nd for like Middle East, Australia, Europe. So, depending on your time zone, you can definitely tune in, and there will be a replay. So that'll be on my channel. So that's, if you'd like to watch or listen later. It's going to be audio, even though we will be streaming in, YouTube. We're going to be doing an audio, and I'm just really, really excited. And the focus is on, healing the earth. So that's actually going to be my topic today, about healing the earth and inner balance. Because I really have been feeling, very, very strongly about this. And it's always been, I thought about it. It was like, wow, I'm doing this meditation about healing the earth. And actually all of my poetry has usually been about nature. I'm always talking about how nature speaks to me, and how, the moon and the phases of the moon and the constellations, they speak to me. And so it's really quite wonderful that my friends and I, we all decided to do this, and I'm just very, very excited. And I really feel like it's a symbiotic relationship we have with the earth. If when we heal, the earth heals. When the earth heals, we heal. It's like very much connected. It's an interdependent, if you want to think about it this way, if that word works with you better. It's an interdependent relationship. We rely, obviously, on the earth to eat, to have food. And I think I did talk about this before. I know I did. I know Deepak Chopra once said, the world would be a better place without us humans. The earth is going to continue whether we're here or not. And I feel personally responsible to do whatever I can in my power to heal the earth, and to work with the energies of the, not just the physical earth, but the energetics, to work with that personally really kind of makes me feel more in balance. And I want to talk about balance today. I feel like when we are in our inner balance, both our masculine and feminine energies are in balance, then we feel more balanced with the earth and with others. But first, just focusing on the earth, I feel that, it feels much more loving. Like I have plants and I have, trees around me, and, I just feel so much more connected to give and to talk to my plants, to water them, to, even though I live in a very dry climate, it's dry right now because the sun is pretty hot. So knowing that they, and watching them, noticing when they need water, noticing the yellowing of the leaves. Sometimes I know personally, I've been so in my world, I saw nothing but my own thoughts, but my own reality, but what my own goals were, and nothing else existed. And I feel that for me at least, wasn't a holistic kind of life. Everything exists with me and around me, and everything affects me as I allow it to. And I can, really increase my vibration and my openness to receive by working with those energies, or I might be resisting them. So how do we come to this to this balance, this openness to receive? Because we are receiving constantly from the universe, right? Even if we have like a desire, that desire is actually manifesting. It's what is your resistance to receiving that? Are you fully open? I've been reading Louise L actually, and I haven't ever read her book. I forgot the name of it. I'll put it in the notes. And I know it's really famous, and one of my clients has it, and I was just like, yeah, I should. I found it in a used bookstore, and I was like, yeah, I should definitely pick this up. And it's really great. I love her affirmations. And I have to say, though, if I had picked that book up like 2 years ago, I don't think I'd be in the same place, because I've gone through a lot of my shadow work, and I really allowed myself to be honest, with like, okay, where am I with my life? Because I used to try to do these kinds of affirmations a couple of years ago, and I really felt like they weren't working. I was like, this just doesn't work. Like, what the hell? What are these people talking about with these affirmations? But I feel now that I've really confronted myself and patterns, generational patterns and patterns of thought that weren't serving me, and, allowing them to leave my life, through the pattern actually of the moon phases. I've allowed many systemic mental and emotional patterns to leave my life. And so I feel that, I'm really in the space of receiving. I'm in the space of, ongoing balance and working with the energy of the universe, as well as the planet, really connecting to Gaia. Like, what does Gaia need from me right now? And I'd even just ask you right now, let's just close our eyes for just a moment and tap into that. So I'm just going to be quiet for a minute. I'm going to come back right now, and I just wanted to ask you how you felt in that minute. You know, there's that minute of silence, or may have been a little bit less. And honestly, I when I tapped into Gaia, what does she need from me right now? The word I heard was peace. You know, connect into your own inner peace, and you're going to connect deeper into me. And that's what I heard. And I also wanted to ask you how you felt in this silence. You know, sometimes I know when I first had my first divine feminine healer, there was a lot of times where she would just pause and she wouldn't say anything. And I felt really uncomfortable. I was like, should I be talking? You know, like, what should I be doing? And I have to say now, I'm much more comfortable with silence with other people. I've always been comfortable with silence by myself, but I hadn't at that time been very comfortable being silent with others, because I was still like in what do they want me to say, you know, instead of being connected to myself. And I feel like the word I heard peace was peace within, because, you know, some of the things that are really on my mind, and I have been talking about many times, is divisiveness. You know, separation, as I talked about last week with the vaccine, and just, you know, with the patriarchy, with this anthology that we're doing, it's divisiveness, it's separation, it's hierarchy. And I feel that we've ravaged the earth with wars, you know, because we just don't agree. And I feel like healing the earth and balance and peace means really just allowing each other to be without an agenda of what someone needs to do, you know, on a very kind of visceral level or a very personal level. It could be a parent or a spouse or a child or just a close relationship where you feel like you need to be stuffed into a hole and you're a square peg, you know, like it just doesn't fit. And you're like, well, why do I need to do that for this person? You know, and you may love this person and they may be part of your family, and you may have this like overwhelming love, but still feel this force. And I feel like that has been an ongoing agenda on this planet, as you know, as humans, of like not agreeing, and then, you know, putting someone on the stand, or groups of people, you know, it could be killing them, it could be all sorts of things, you know. But I feel like this has been a big problem, not only for our life and, you know, just loving humanity, but, you know, for the earth, you know, ravaging, like just, you know, not caring. And even just on another level, just not caring about the earth, like living, like I said before, like living our own lives, not caring for littering, not caring what we're doing to the earth, maybe putting plastic and the animals will eat them. You know, it's like all sorts of things, you know, which I'm not going to get into right now because I know you know what they are. But really, as we meditate together, as we together have this mission of love, you know, with this higher vibration of love, it automatically, when we have this deep, deep self-love for ourselves, and then we see love in other beings, we see love in the earth. You know, we see love in where we are, our physical surroundings. You know, we fondly clean it. We fondly pick up, you know, garbage or whatever, you know, anything that isn't serving the planet, even in our little spaces. It doesn't, you know, you don't have to be this like on, you know, I was working a little bit for NYPIRG when I was younger. You know, you don't have to be on this environmental like agenda. It could just be your house and your garden. You know, like the more that you care about that, the more that you shift the planet. It's in our small actions that things change. And I don't think that we fully realize that. You know, it's every, the books you read and you recycle, you know, the things that, the more recycling we can do, and, you know, the challenges we might have in doing that, but, you know, desiring that is really the where we're going, and we're going to make it happen. And I feel like it's in our small goals, and it's our little dreams that we slowly see happening, or it's even the little mint plant that I have outside that I continue to water and I use from time to time in my tea. It's these things that shift. You know, it's this love that I give that will shift. And we don't think so. We're like, oh, but we need to do the full picture, you know. But really, it's as each of us do the smaller actions, it shifts the entire vibration. So I'm inviting you to our full moon live stream, because each of the healers are going to be taking you through a visualization meditation. It'll be about 30 minutes. And even so, like, whether you come or not, like, I'm really inviting you to just reassess your life. You know, this is a time of the full moon. We're releasing something that doesn't serve us anymore. You know, for me, it's like just releasing old thoughts that are not serving me or the planet. You know, how can I really connect more into my inner balance, so I'm more of service to Gaia, so I'm more of service to the divine? What can I do in my life that is opening up my own heart to connect to others, regardless of their beliefs? This is a really big issue for me, because I've felt, as you know, if you've been following me for a while, you know, I felt victimized for a lot of my life. I felt like I couldn't speak. You know, my throat was really shut down. My heart, I had a lot of walls around it. And a really other big thing that I wanted to mention today, as I know I've said before, is how can we share our voices? Our voices can be heard in a number of ways, and it doesn't always have to be done through speech. It can be, you know, gardening. Gardening is a message in and of itself. Have a beautiful garden, or, you know, beautiful, or just writing, you know, activism, documentaries, art, music. You know, it could be cooking. You know, it could be anything that really makes your heart sing, to do more of your passion. So again, I'm going into the creative space, because I feel like that's where we're heard. That's where we feel heard. Because we're in this flow. We're not adhering to any rules, only the rules that we're creating for our own work. And I'm just inviting you into that space as you're stepping into more healing, into more balance with your own masculine and feminine energies, and also with other people. You know, balancing your energies with them, whether that would be in a union with someone else, or just a union with other people in general. You know, just like union of love. And I feel like this very strongly, because I feel like love opens up all gateways. It opens up the gateway to loving yourself, your body, your food, your family, the earth. There's so much to love. You know, there's so much to give. And I've been watching some very challenging movies, you know, just to kind of get into the pulse of the collective, and, you know, what kind of lives other people have led. And I feel like, you know, people have had a lot of challenges, and I feel that some of these challenges are because the same thing that I mentioned before, wanting to conform. You know, I was watching this movie about a woman who had anorexia, you know, or who didn't want to eat, and it was so challenging, because, like, you know, she had started this whole thing and, like, this whole kind of life, and she couldn't get out of it. As much as she wanted to, like, live, it was difficult. It was really difficult, you know, and that wasn't the life I lived, but, you know, I can understand, and why, you know, probably at some point is wanting to conform, you know, wanting to be like everybody else, wanting to be skinny, or not wanting to be fat. You know, what does it mean to be fat? Like, what does that mean? Why do we have these terms? You know, like, our bodies are so beautiful. If you look at some the Renaissance, the women's bodies were not at all skinny. I'm just taking this as an example, but it's anything, it's anything that, and the more that I feel like we take care of ourselves, of course, there's definitely some hazards to not eating well, but it's about self-love. And it's not necessarily about, okay, what is it going to look like? It's more about self-love. Am I making healthy eating choices for myself? Does it make me feel good? How do I feel after? Really just getting into you, because you are so important. And when we can really, and it's not selfishness, it's about caring for yourself. This is what I determine or define as self-love. And I feel that the more that we care about ourselves, the more that we can care about others and the planet. And that has always been my truth, and I really do stay by that. So I wanted to read one poem that I have. It's actually about... it came to me before I started, and so I wanted to just read it. It's called The Gates of Heaven. So I'm going to share this with you. And I really do feel like this is an exciting one, so I'll share this. Feeling a new beginning on the horizon, my body is tingling with excitement, sensing the touch of my lover as I arouse from reverie. My pussy wet and warm, totally relaxed and open to receive. Divine energy recharging, recalibrating, like my crystals as they bathe in the moonlight sky. Subdued light particles shining in through my window, calling me to rekindle the fire of my heart. My daughter and I sleep outside under the night sky, renewing our luminescent bodies. Stars glistening like a new dawn, smiling at us with twinkling eyes, emerging a new portal of togetherness, equality, and awakening. Ripe and fertile, lovingly, I stand in the auric field of angels and cosmic light. I might have read this before, but I felt like this is, it is a new beginning. It is erotic poetry. And it's this divine energy, like we're being recalibrated, and it's idea of togetherness and equality, like that's part of what I was saying today, So I really feel like these things are divine the way that they happen. So I'm inviting you into that space. We are actually in the gates of heaven. We're together. We're historically, we're awakening, we're stepping into, or we already are, maybe some of us, into the fifth dimension. And the more that we can allow ourselves to really stand in our power, to believe in ourselves, to find like-minded people to support us as we are shifting and changing, to take the time to care for ourselves. I know many people have been feeling tired, and myself included, and really just taking the time to relax, rest, because our DNA is recalibrating, our brain is recalibrating, our thoughts are changing. We are able to manifest very quickly. It's almost like we're almost like, whoa, this happened so fast. But it's been this ongoing work you've been doing. That's why this is happening quickly now, because you now have the tools and techniques to move into a different state of being. To really combine, to let go of the pain body, step into the light body. And if any of those triggers come up from the past, you know how to move through them. And if you're having challenges, definitely connect with me. I'm more than happy to assist you. I have, you could schedule 15-minute chats with me. And I have a number of different programs that I'm doing that can assist you. I am starting new moon circles that are going to be every new moon. And you can join that, as well as these full moon meditations we're going to do monthly. This one is going to be complimentary, and in the future there will be a download that you could just receive for a nominal fee. So I'm super excited about all these possibilities, and plus all of my programs that I'm offering. And I also wanted to add, before I close this session, is our voices can be heard also through technology, and I feel like this is a sore spot for some people. I'm pretty good at technology. I've been pretty adept most of my life. I actually entered the field after I got my master's in teaching. I did work in a school, and then I started to help teachers, and I've always been really, just quick to learn. And I find that some people are a little bit nervous about using technology. And I'm just mentioning this because it's going to be an upcoming program of mine as well, is to step into your voice being heard through technology. Because sometimes, how many people can we speak to on a daily basis, especially at this pandemic? And if you're desiring to do a podcast, or you'd want to be on video, or, and you're not knowing how to do it yet, I'm going to be starting a group course. I'll be announcing it more towards the end of this month, of a 4-week course to really just connect you to your inner voice and to help you to feel more comfortable with technology. Because I feel like, just like anything else, we have some fears, and when we can let go of those fears and let go of some of the resistance, like I can't, you realize you can. And I would definitely give you some resources, but primarily I would just help you to find what you need to get done for your business or your life. So if that resonates with you, I'm going to be just adding a link to a blog post I wrote about that. And I'll be mentioning that in my next podcast, so make sure that you listen next week. So I'm just really glad that you tuned in today. I hope that you'll be coming to our meditation on Sunday or Saturday night, wherever you are, and really joining us in healing the earth and really creating more aquatic balance on the earth, as well as inner balance within ourselves, that inner union. I think is so important at this time. And as we step into that, we're able to really harness our own creativity, our own power, and connect to the powers of the planet and the energies of the planet. And I feel like this is important for our own growth, for our own ascension, and also to really feel strong and know that our voices can be heard, even if it is not of the consensus. So when we feel more connected to the earth and more balanced with ourselves, we feel less, or I can say for myself, I feel less pushed to choose a side. I might have an opinion, but it doesn't mean I can't sit next to someone who doesn't share the same opinion as me. And I feel like this is really an important part of my life, to just really dispel separation, dispel divisiveness, dispel disparity, which is why I'm doing this book on patriarchy and really these power struggles. How can we, I said in the poem, how can we be more equal? How can we really open up this new beginning of equality? So I'm just going to have you ponder that, and I wanted to thank you again for being here and listening to this podcast. I'd love to get your feedback. If you'd like to send me anything at gilanehemia.com. All my programs are at gilanehemia.com. And I wanted to just close with a prayer. So if you'd like to close your eyes with me again, we'll take 3 deep breaths from your diaphragm all the way up to your upper chakras. And I want to thank everyone who has been listening. I want to thank our angels, our guides, God, Source, Universe, our power animals that helped to bring this message out today. And if there were any questions that were answered or any questions that arose during the session, I want to thank all of our guides for helping us in our own ascension path, for thanking Mother Gaia and the universe for assisting us and giving to us and allowing ourselves to receive. Just want to feel into receiving all of the gifts, all of the blessings, everything that you're desiring as part of your full wholeness and sovereignty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom. Happy, happy full moon in Aquarius. Sending you so much love and light. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.